Good. Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. It's nice to finally meet you guys. You guys mind if I put my stuff on the kitchen table and take a look around the house just so I can make some notes?
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome,
Sure.
awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited about the opportunity that we have here today, which is to get your home sold and get your mother's home sold and get you guys, out of this situation. Okay. Were you able to look at my pre-listing package that I sent you?
I haven't.
Okay, I haven't gotten a chance to look at it, no.
Okay, that's fine. Naturally, we'll take a look at it at the end anyways. So naturally, at the end of my presentation today, okay, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the sales price, okay? Now, there's gonna be 3 possible outcomes to our meeting today, all right? Number 1, you're gonna like my marketing plan and also the price that we choose to list your home. Number 2, and you'll list your home with me, okay? Number 2, you may have to sleep on it, think about it, and then, you may have some more questions, all right? Number 3, I myself may not be able to take this listings if our expectations just simply do not align, all right? Now, I want you to understand any of these 3 scenarios are completely fine by me, all right? So whatever you choose, no hard feelings.
Okay.
All right. Now, I've written down some important questions that I want to ask you guys. Do you mind if I read them out to you?
No.
Sure.
Okay. Now, have you guys made a definite decision to sell this home?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I think we're on the fence right now.
Okay, so you're on the fence. So
Mhm.
which one is on the sell fence and which one is on the I don't want to sell fence?
So I think rents are pretty good,
Yeah.
and we can keep it, and we can keep it, and I think we're good.
Okay.
Wait,
I
were you
understand.
asking who's on this? Wait, I didn't understand the question. What were you asking?
Which of you 2 guys wants to sell and which one doesn't want to sell right now?
Oh, yeah, that's what I got out of it. Yeah, so I think we're on the same page, no, Yamanda? I just think the house is just very, it holds a lot of sentimental value and
Okay.
it's hard.
Okay, I understand. So we'll get to that point. Now, if you do decide to sell your home, would you like to price your home to sell quickly or price it high and have it sitting on the market for a long time?
Well, it sounds like pricing it high will keep it on the market for a long time. We're definitely not taking that long path.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to sell quickly if we decide.
Okay, cool. Now, once we find a ready, willing, and able buyer, how soon would you guys be able to close?
No, the house is vacant. There's no rush. It won't matter.
Yeah, I don't think, well, like we said, we're still in the deciding process on if we're gonna sell or not. So now we haven't even thought about time frame, to be honest.
Okay. Now, do you guys have a time frame on how soon you want to sell this home at all? Have you thought about that?
No, we haven't even decided on that.
Okay.
Really, we're just in the deciding stage if we want to sell it or not.
Okay. How about price? Do you have an idea or where you would like to list it?
Yamanda?
Well, I have a friend. She's a realtor, so she told me we can probably net or sell the property for 350.
350. Okay. Now, are you also interviewing any other agents besides myself? I know you just mentioned your friend.
Yeah, her friend. Yeah, we really like to go with who we know because we feel a lot more comfortable, with the communication, and this is just like a big deal for us. So.
Okay. Would you mind sharing your friend's name with me?
Yes, her name is Selena Lima.
Selena Lemos.
Yes.
Okay, I know her. She's pretty good, but I'll tell you, I'm a little bit better. All right. Now, what expectations do you guys have from the agent that you list your home with?
So like I said, this is a big deal for us. It holds a lot of sentimental value. We just want to make sure that if we do decide we are going to get the amount of money for the property.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we just, we want someone who's good with negotiating skills, also a good communicator. It's 2 of us involved, so we have to make sure we're both aligned in everything that we decide on. So.
Okay.
And also we are expecting from the agent to have a good commission on their fees. So let's see, because we just spoke to my friend about it. So let's see what happens.
I
Yes.
couldn't hear the first part. You said you're expecting for the agent to have a what, Demanda?
No, we are trying, if we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the agent that we'll choose, we are definitely giving like more focus on the commission.
Commission,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We,
Gotcha.
we don't want to pay top dollar for commission, she's trying to say.
Okay. Gotcha. So you guys want a discount agent?
Yes.
Okay, understood. Well, thank you for taking thank you for taking the time to answer these questions for me. Okay, very valuable information that you shared with me. Now, before we get into pricing, I want you guys to understand that there's three things in this market that three main issues in the real estate market that we're facing today. All right, number one is going to be seller's motivation, which is you guys. Number two is going to be buyer's motivation, which is the people that are going to come through and try and buy your home. And number three is going to be the listing price that we choose today. Okay. Now, since we know that buyers determine price by looking at properties that are actively listed and also properties that have recently sold in the area, and this is how they come up with an offer for your property. All right. So I prepared a listing presentation, listing comparative analysis that I sent to you, and you both said that you guys weren't able to look through it, or you looked through it briefly.
No, I haven't taken a look at it. Can you go through it?
Okay. Yeah. So we'll go through the whole study, which is going to show us comparable homes that are listed. And this is going to be your main competition. Okay. And there's going to be homes that are recently sold. And these are the homes that are going to be used to get your home to appraise. All right. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Okay.
Not
so
really. Do you mind explaining that a little better?
Okay, so the active homes are going to be your main competition, meaning that these are homes that are still on the market, they're actively being sold, so your buyers can still put offers on these houses. Okay, now for the appraised value, the bank is going, once we do have a buyer on the contract with us, the bank is going to use sold properties similar to your home to then figure out the value, the purchase price of your home.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let's take a look. So we'll take a look at a couple of actives and also sold. So the first active that we have here is on 123 Main Street.
Skip forward. Go to based on the prices we've seen here today. Go from there.
Okay, so based on the prices that we've seen here today, how do you guys feel about listing the homes for 350?
Yamanda?
Are you giving them the price, or are you going to ask them what they feel they should use?
Well, she gave me a price of 350 at our original conversation, so I was just giving her that price back to her.
Like that, I got you.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, we can still do 350.
Okay. I mean, if you wish to sell your home fairly quickly, based on my experience and my market knowledge, I think the 350 will get you guys out of this situation, and to get your mother's home sold at the best price and in the least amount of time also.
Okay, I just have a question though. What was the highest comp that you pulled? Like what was the price?
Okay, the highest comp was almost 400,000, but this one was a lot more updated than your current property. I mean, it has the same amount of rooms, bedrooms, and everything else, but this one was a lot more updated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And like we said before, we just want to make sure that we're getting a good commission price.
Okay.
So is there any way you can tag on, and this will make a lot of a difference in the agent that we choose? Do you have the ability to tag on the commission price onto the purchase price so that we don't even pay for that? Do you get what I'm saying? I mean,
so you're saying that you wanna pay zero commission? Is that what you're saying? Basically, that's what I'm getting.
in a way, yeah. So if we're gonna list for 350, your commission's 10 grand. Can we just list for 360 since the comps is like 400K?
Well, like I said, we logically and rationally that makes sense, but to put it on there, that doesn't really, that's not how it works. I can't just tag my commission onto the sales price. I can tell you, hey, if we list it, say the comps as 350, if we list it at 340, maybe we can get a buyer that's gonna overpay and then get you that extra money to then cover your commission. But
Okay, but that's a maybe though, right? That's not
well,
something.
yeah, I don't have a crystal ball, so that I don't know if that will happen, but it could.
Okay.
We're seeing properties right now in the market that are being sold on average 4 to 5% above the asking price. So this is a very likely scenario as long as we price it well.
Any warranty on that? It says most likely.
Say that again.
Any warranty on that? You said it's most likely.
That's what the facts are right now. Most homes that are listed at the market price are being sold about 4% higher.
In most homes, what do you mean? Like, what's the percentage of the homes that are being sold like that?
So if what's the percentage of the homes that are
Fredo,
being sold?
good luck
Yeah.
with this listing presentation.
I don't know where we going now.
I would, I know. So, and this can go on and on and
He's
on.
a
and
good,
on.
he's a good
By the
one.
way,
So I have to
by
hit
the
him
way,
with
it
that.
will go on and on and on and on because it's like, each party is trying to show that they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You handled it very good. You didn't change your posture. You didn't get nervous. You didn't get anxious. You just, hey, whatever you guys want to do with that, let's do with that, which is great. Posture is extremely important in your listening presentation. You could have probably gone all the way talking about, can I tag, 10,000 on top of the commission. I took differently what she said. I would go in a different direction with that, probably make a mistake. But either way, hey, my commission is X. And I can show you 3 different, commission programs that I do offer. So you could pay 7%. You can also pay 6 and you can pay 5 and you choose which one you want. And then I go and I talk a little bit about that. I show what I do, and then I go back into wherever I left off. I'm not going to let them, bombard me with 1,000,001 questions. I'm going to try to narrow things down just by, I recognize that they're, right now getting excited. And I want to bring down this excitement a little bit because I don't want to stay there for 6 hours. So we need to narrow this thing down. So at one point, like on pricing, first of all, put that 350 down, and you did. It's 350. Okay, that was done. Now we're talking about commission. So you need to handle the commission, and then you need to ask them, okay, other than the price and commission, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about that will help you choose the right agent? And then you ask them, what do you want from the right agent? And what is the right agent? Is the right agent someone who, at the first bark drops 2%, which is, by the way, like 30% of his commission? Would you want someone like that a buyer just barks at him and he's like, oh, okay, let me go back to the seller? Or do you want someone, who can stand up and protect your price? So first of all, we need to believe in the price. I need to feel comfortable with the price you guys are choosing. If you want 3, for example, if they went crazy with the price, then you need to talk and say, I don't feel comfortable with this price, right? And if I don't feel comfortable with the price, I don't know how good of an agent I'm going to be selling your home. But if I do believe in your price, I will sell the heck out of it. And I'm definitely going to get you what it is that I believe I can get you. So if Amanda was talking about the warranty, there is no warranty on it because buyers determine the value and not me. So we need to put your home on the market and start seeing what happens. But I can tell you that based on my marketing, blah, 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 and I can go from there. We can just, right now, we can just keep talking and schmoozing and going between. You'll need to go back and close. So every single time that you guys come off the script because they take you off, you go back on your script and you close. Okay, so if we are happy with the price and commission, are you guys ready to list your home with me today? And they say, well, if we agree, then yes. Okay, great. Then you go out, you agree, and then you go back. Okay, so let's go ahead and sign the listing. All right, so keep going back to closing. Posture was very good. You handled them very good. I have no critique other than that. If anyone else has something to say, feel free to do that. Other than that, I'm going to call in.
I have a quick thing to say.
Yes, please.
I think it was good. It's so entertaining. But there was one thing that Will did because he was getting kind of annoyed by all the questions, and he said, I don't have a crystal ball to someone who's doing an estate sale. That's kind of insensitive. So that's the only critique I have is like, if it were any other situation, maybe they would be like, he's a businessman, who cares? Maybe not. But if it's an estate sale, So I don't know. That was just my one critique. I'm like, that could go left really quick if the person's emotional, like if they're a high I like me.
Yeah, it did throw me off a bit, but I know, like we were just giving him trouble. So I was like,
no. All right, that's it.
Also, my thing is, I I think, Will's a very high D and, analytical. So, you tend to talk faster. And so I thought that if you slow down a little bit and you connect it with Yamanda and Nick's a little bit more on an emotional level, connect with her, because they're not selling because of just the price, right? It's because it's their mother's house. So there's a more feeling involved. So I know for me, it's like if you slow down just a little bit and just connect with them, then they might have resisted less, and they might be like, okay, if they feel good about you and they like and trust you, if you establish that somehow to make them like and trust you more, then the resistance will probably go down, right? And then
that's true.
they won't object as much. So, but you were kind of going through it really quickly, presentation. So they're just kind of like not connecting with you, and they're just kind of holding fast to what they believe in, right? Like, oh, it's price, but really, is there something else besides price that you need to find the motivation? Because obviously they brought you in because they have to sell it. So finding that motivation could be the secret, maybe, to help you close the sale too, right? So,
well, finding the connection, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I think that because we hadn't really established true motivation yet, you were having an issue there. But at the same time, Nick was telling you, if we get this, then yeah. So there is a price that they're willing to sell at. So I think you need to spin it like Ron mentioned earlier. Like, all right, if we don't sell it at that price, what's it going to cost you to carry the house? Is there a mortgage on the house? Taxes, insurance. Is it wintertime? Are you in a cold climate? You got to heat the house. So you got to show that, hey, if you don't sell, now you're losing money because these expenses are piling up. So
and they did say it was vacant, so it's not making them any money right now too.
Exactly. So the time that it takes them to, try to list it at a higher price, well, it's really costing them money to keep it on the market and not sell it. So you kind of have to find that fine line and kind of show them that, hey, maybe there is motivation to sell at a lower price rather than losing money and just holding on to the house. Maybe that's your motivation.
Excellent. You guys
I
made
think
excellent points.
I think we all three are kind of the same kind of expressive. So I do think he was, for me, like my personality, he was doing good. Because if I were to bring this person that talks slow and things like that, myself, I get bored. So I think he was doing good. Yes. And
same with me.
We all three like that, I guess. So I think he was doing good. His energy.
For sure.
okay.
I think he did really well, and I tried
Thank you,
to
guys.
butcher him in so many ways, but he did good.
I think he has a chill personality. I see that in him, and I think it works good for him because I've watched him when he did another presentation. He's just so chill with it. So I really commend him on that.
Thank you.
You're a chill dude. And you run smoothly. It's like you want to get it over with. You're just like, guys, you want to sell the house? I'm here to sell it. Let's go. Come on. Here's what we need. Come on, let's go. That's a driver approach. That's how a driver does things. I think that the recommendation that you received is excellent. I think that what James said was absolutely what was missing over there. Definitely. And it was missing because look, a driver analytical is using zero emotion in his presentation. And he didn't use one iota of emotion in his presentation. He didn't even move half an inch on you didn't feel them. You didn't care about how they feel. That's a driver analytical. And you need to be careful. A driver analytical is extreme in that. So you really need to be like she said, crystal ball, that's not going to fly over here because you are crystal ball will fly. For me, when you said it, I was like, well, dude, that was good. Like in my own mind, because I'm a driver also, when you said crystal, I'm like, wow, that's great. That was
My jaw dropped.
On the spot, right? And then my other extreme, which is Teresa, is telling you, dude, be careful because you're stepping on toes. So it's very good to get all this critique, guys, whatever you're listening to right now, this will be the best listing presentation in, information you can ever gather. All right, let's move on and give some other people the stage. We're going to go with Shirley, Lisette, and who else is here? Steven. So Lisette, you're gonna go first. You're the agent. Shirley and Steven are brother and sister. You need to sell a house of a parent that is not here anymore. You guys have the house. You want to sell. You want to choose the best agents for the job. You already interviewed 2 agents. Lisette is the last agent in the door. You want to make a decision. You need to sell fast because you want the money. You want to finish this thing, and that's really what's happening. So.
Okay, so who are the names their name, the buyer's name? Shirley. And who else?
You
Sorry,
got 2 sellers. There's no buyers here.
my sorry.
Steven and Shirley.
Okay, you're right. So knock knock. Hello, good morning, Shirley and Steven. It's nice to finally meet you. Would you mind if I leave my stuff at the kitchen table while I take a quick look and take some notes, please?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Great, thank you so much. I am very excited about the opportunity we are having today to get you to cash out, take advantage of the high market we are having, and just bring you to closure. Isn't that what we want?
Absolutely.
Great. So naturally, at the end of my presentation today, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the selling price. Isn't that what we want?
For sure.
Great.
Yeah, especially maximizing the price.
Of course, that's what we are here for. And actually, you are picking a great time to sell because the market it's very good to sell for a great price. So now there are 3 possible outcomes we can expect today. Number 1, you'll feel great about the marketing plan and price that we choose, and you'll decide to list your home with me.
Okay.
Number 2, you might feel uncertain and you need to process a little bit and need some time to sleep on it. Or number 3, I might not be able to take your listing if our expectations are not aligned. However, I want you to know that any of these options are fine by me. Okay?
Cool. Good to know that.
Yes. So I have written down some important questions for us to discuss. Do you mind if I read these questions from you just to make sure I don't forget anything?
Go for it.
Sure. Yeah. I'm in a little bit of a rush. I got to drop my daughter off pretty soon.
So this presentation will take between 20 and 25 minutes. Do you have the time to, is that the right time?
That should be okay. Yeah. As long as we
Okay.
make it quick.
Okay, awesome. So do you make a definite decision to sell this house?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Of course.
Yeah. It mainly depends on the price.
Of course.
Yeah. Otherwise we'd rent it out.
Of course, I completely understand. So would you like to price your home quickly, or would you prefer to price high and keep it on the market for a long period of time?
Can we do high and quickly?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the pricing area and we'll discuss how that might be not a good move for you guys. Okay, we're gonna cover that. Okay, Shirley?
Okay.
Okay, so did you guys make a definite decision to sell this home?
With the price being high,
For the right price, in the least amount of time, with the least amount of hassle?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So would you like to price your home to sell quick? Oh, sorry, I'm repeating myself. Once we find a ready and willing able to find a buyer for you, how quickly can you close?
As soon as possible.
Of course, you are very synchronized. Good. So, and you definitely are in an agreement that you guys want to sell for the highest price. Yes. So during our conversation, you mentioned that you were moving, or you just want to, sell the property. You are good to, to move on. and put a closure to this ownership of this property, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason you are moving or you are selling now is because this is the right the right market to do so, right? Because the market is really high, prices are, we have shortage of inventory, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Okay. Do you guys have a specific time frame for the sale of this property?
We just want to get it sold for the most amount, and we don't want to wait too long so like prices drop.
Okay.
Yeah, no, as soon as possible, definitely.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so, and you also mentioned that you want to sell it for around 540, is that right?
Yeah, if we
Well,
can
my
get
sister
more,
was
that would be
thinking,
great.
yeah, my sister was thinking 540. I'm more on the 560 side.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, are you guys interviewing any other agents? You say you interviewed two agents more and you're just waiting on me to make a decision?
Yeah, you're the last one.
Okay. Well, thank you for the opportunity of selling your property, okay? So quick question, Stephen and Shirley. What expectations do you have from an agent that you'll choose to list your home with?
I want someone to be able to explain things thoroughly to me, and because I want to understand exactly what's happening, and I want the highest price.
So communication is key for you and the highest price.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now before we get into pricing, which is very important to you, I want you to understand that there's three main issues in selling a real estate today, okay? So number one is the seller's motivation, your motivation as a seller. Number two, the buyer's motivation. And number three, the listing price. So since we know buyers determine value by looking at what's currently available for sale, then they compare the homes with other similar homes that have recently sold. And based on that information, they come up with an offer, okay? So what I have done is I have prepared a home evaluation report for you, which I included in the pre-listing package. Do you have the time to go over it?
Yeah, I went over it briefly.
Okay, we'll go now step by step together. So the study is showing us comparable homes that are actively listed as our competition. So when your home hit the market, we're going to be competing with that property, okay? And the study also is showing recently sold homes sold in these properties will be used to, it's the property that we are using to price to create the worth of the property or to determine the worth of the property, and also will be used to appraise, you know? So does that make sense?
Appraise, what is that? What does that mean?
Well, the appraisal is a process that usually when people are taking financing through a bank, they send the appraisal to make sure that the property will appraise for the amount of money that they are lending to purchase the property. They are using the property as a collateral, so they want to make sure that the property is worth that amount of money. If the borrower stop paying for the property, they're gonna come up and, you know, repossess the property to get their money back. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here to answer any questions you might have. So now, as I stated before, I included 3 properties that are active. So comparable number 1 is 123 Main Street. And this property is very similar to yours. It has 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. And this property has been on the market for 55 days. And in this market, that worries me very much because the listing price is $560. And that means that that property might be very, very overpriced because we don't have inventory. So there's no reason for this property to still active. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Steven? Okay. All right. So we went to through the 1, 2, 3 process. You were like zoning out. Okay. So that might happen in real life. So now we have the 3 sold properties. And we have 1, 2, 3 Pleasant Street. And this property, it's also very similar to yours, but it's a little bit updated than yours. And this one sold for $450. And it was listed for just 2 weeks. Do you guys get to see these homes?
Yeah, I actually got a chance to see that home. You said there was new appliances and stuff. I noticed when I went there that it smelled very strongly of smoke. So does that affect anything? I mean,
well, of course,
my house smells great.
Of course, smell, it's very important, but it won't determine the worth of the house, especially in this kind of market that we have. The property has more features that are more attractive to a buyer than a smell. But I do agree, and of course, the smell of your house is great, and it will be greatly, buyers will appreciate it when they come in, of course, okay? So now that we have, we know how buyers determine value, and we also know buyers will compare your home with the competition, especially with these homes that have recently sold. Which price do you feel we can use to position your property above the competition?
So how much did you mention that house sold for? The one with the new appliances?
$450. It has not just not new appliances. It has a new roof. It has new vinyl siding. The pool was completely relined. Everything is in great top condition.
How much was it listed for?
It sold. It was listed for $430, and it sold for $450 within 2 weeks.
So if we
Interesting.
What is
Now
it?
it's time. Now it's time to close.
Okay, so
you see, when you cause them to start like hooking up and thinking, you're closing now.
Okay, so now Shirley and Steven. If you wish to sell your property fairly quickly, based in my experience and knowledge of the market, I will price your home for $430. This will
$430.
$430. Yes.
Isn't that a little too low?
Well, if you see comparables number 1, 2, and 3 that I explained, they sold about these price ranges, $430, $450, and I ask you to trust me that to market the property for $430 doesn't mean that you're gonna get $430 for it. It means that we're gonna be able to attract all the buyers, the attention of all the buyers that are highly qualified, and to bring them to our court so they can see the property, they can feel in love of the great property you have, and we can get the property for a highest and best.
$430. I don't know, sis. What do you think?
That's very different from what we were thinking to sell it from.
Yeah,
So
we're hoping to get more.
I completely
mean, we have a
understand it.
beautiful backyard, and
You
does that
you
affect
do,
anything?
no question about it, Stephen, but I don't control the market. I just interpret the market, and based on the market that market analysis that we went through, this is the selling price. I am not here to sell you dreams. I am here to tell you the truth, and I'm 100% sure you prefer me to tell you the truth than to, give you misinformation. correct?
Lizette, you're doing a very good job. Like until this time, if I was a seller, you have me. Now, yeah, I did very good.
Yeah, that was a great job.
So I want you to start thinking about it right now. You see, even with your accent, nobody cares. Like, as a matter of fact, your accent can only help you, not do the opposite.
My accent.
But right now, I want to ask you a question because I don't think you know the answer. What is their motivation? Each of them. Tell me why each of them, what's their motivation? And if you don't know the answer, then I want to send you back into the listing presentation and you're going to find out why is Steven excited about this? Like, what is he going to do after he sells it? And what's motivating him forward? And the same with Shirley. You want to find out each of their motivations, take it from here, and then come back to pricing and close. Because right now they're kind of 430, you know, they're talking about this thing, but they already had 2 other agents. You can easily say what the other agents told you, but they can say, oh, they told us 490. So I don't want to I'm not even mentioning it. I don't want to go there. I want you to understand the motivation. You still don't know it. They still didn't say to any of us why they're selling, like what's going on. Hey, Steven, what are you going to do? You know, so take it from here.
Okay, so 1 sec. Let me go back to the listing presentation.
So you're still at 430. They're kind of not happy about it. So you say, you know what, let's leave the price on the side over here. I want to ask you a question. Right? And then you say, hey, Shirley, tell me what you're going to be doing after this home is selling.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for the opportunity that I'm having here to put your house on the market and sell it for top dollar. So my question to you is, what is it that your motivation to sell this property?
I want to take the money and reinvest it.
That is very smart. About you, Steven?
Yeah, I want to invest it too into a new car.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got a new house. I need the car to match it now.
Of course, and this is the right market to sell the property for a very high price.
Ask him about the car.
Okay. So Steven, what kind of car?
Oh, it's a Porsche. It's a brand new 911. It just came out probably like last week. I'm in love with it.
Good Lord. So what color is it?
Yellow, like our background.
Very, very bright.
Yeah.
You
Oh
see,
yeah.
Good for you.
The more details you know about the car, by the way, the more excited he'll be. Did you already drive it? Did you test drive the car? What do you like about it? Or can you see yourself driving it? Okay, great. Let's go back to the 430.
Shirley.
If we sell your home for 430, Shirley, can you invest 200,000 and get what you want out of that? And then she says, or you say, do you know what you want to invest in? Would you like to buy a property, like a 3-family with some income property?
And I might be able to help you buy.
Exactly. So you want to find out, like, what is she excited about that investment? You already know what he's excited about. Just talk about the car with him and then go back. Dude, is 200,000 getting you the car that you want to get? Steven.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And how much money is left after that?
About 75K.
Okay. And what are you going to do with that money?
Oof, I don't know, man. We got to take a vacation now. We got the car, we got the house. Now it's vacation time.
You see, so now you have all those things to go back to when you talk about the price. All of a sudden, 450 and 430 doesn't mean anything because he's already driving his Porsche and she just bought a 3-family house.
You are right.
Right? So you want to do that and always, because right now you did your presentation was good. You went through your script, everything was good and dandy. The only thing that was kind of missing over there is why these people are even selling. Like, do they even know what they're going to do with the money? Because many times you'll find that you ask them and they don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. And that's why many people don't sell, or they delay listing, or they're like, oh, you know, I think we can get more money, just because they're not really ready to pull the trigger because they don't know what the hell they're going to do next. So motivation, guys, do you already see that motivation is the bottom line here of every listing presentation? You need motivation of the seller. And if they're not motivated, then number 1 is not even met. Number 1 is not met. Number 2 and 3 don't even matter. Seller is not motivated. Buyers can be motivated all day long. They're not going to pay the seller $600,000 for a home that's worth $400,000. All right. Very good job. Now we're going to go and do Shirley's the agent, and you're dealing with husband and wife. The wife got a job transfer in Florida. The husband can't wait to be there already, because if the wife is getting this job transfer, she's going to make so much money he can drive his Porsche, right? And that's your presentation.
Okay. Who's the?
I'm the wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lisa and Steve.
I want one. Okay. Hello, Stephen and Lisette. Very nice to finally meet you. Would you
Hi.
mind if I leave my stuff on the kitchen table while I take a look around and take some notes?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about the opportunity we're having today to get your home sold and get you closer to Florida. Isn't that what we want?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's begin the process, shall we?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay, so Stephen and Lisette, naturally at the end of my presentation today, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the selling price. Isn't that what we want?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Maximizing the
Awesome.
selling price.
Okay, so now there's 3 possible outcomes you can expect today. The first one being that you'll feel great about my marketing plan and the price we choose, and you'll decide to list your home with me. Or the second thing is you might still feel uncertain about the process and still need some time to sleep on it. Or the
Okay.
third thing that can happen is I might not be able to take the listing if our expectations are not aligned.
Why our expectation will not align?
Well, you know, if we can't come to an agreement and it doesn't make sense for you to sell or for me to list your property, then I might not be able to do that. So I just want you to know that any one of these options are fine by me.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. So I wrote down some important questions for us to discuss. Do you mind if I read the questions to you?
No, I don't mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
So did you make a definite decision to sell this home?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we got to get over to Florida for my wife's new job, and I'm retired,
Yeah.
so I can't wait to get down there myself.
Yeah,
We are
that's
happy
exciting.
about it.
So would you like to price your home to sell quickly or price it high and keep it on the market for a long period of time?
We cannot afford to keep it on the market for a long period of time. We already purchased property in Florida. We gotta be out of here ASAP.
Okay, so when we find a ready, willing, and able buyer, how quickly can you close?
Within 30 days. Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, it'll take about 30 days for us to get our stuff ready and, you know, on our way down there.
Okay. So you're moving to Florida, you can close in about 30 days. So what price do you want to list it for?
Around 550.
All right, 550.
Yeah, 550, even more though, if possible.
Okay.
Of course.
So are you interviewing any other agent?
We are.
Okay. Before or after, have you spoken with anyone yet?
Yeah.
We spoke with one, and are we interviewing 2 more, right, Papi?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you're the 4th one now. We got 1 before you, 2 after.
So let me ask you, what expectations do you have for the agent that you decide to list with?
Oh, hey, you got to be able to communicate, first of all. You know, you got to be able to, you know, keep us and you know, not keep us in the dark. And then you just got to get the job done primarily.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, thank you for
Do you
taking the
think,
time.
do you think you are capable of fulfilling our needs?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good
How
to
long
know.
you been in the business, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been in the business for 4 years now, 4 years and a half.
Oh, wow. How do you like it?
Love it. It's my passion to help sellers get to where they need to go, help people reach their goals. And so I'm very determined and passionate about that.
I can
Nice.
tell you follow up a lot on us, so thank you for doing that.
Of course, no problem. Well, thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. Now, before we get into pricing, it's important to understand the 3 main issues with selling real estate today. So the first one is the seller's motivation. The second one is the buyer's motivation. Third is the list price. So we know that buyers determine value by looking at what's currently available for sale. Then they compare these homes with what's recently sold. And based on that information, they come up with an offer. So I've prepared a home evaluation report for you, which I included in the pre-listing packet. Did you get a chance to look it over?
Yeah, I did. My husband never checked his email, so I was the one who did it.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
yeah, she has my passwords to everything, so I didn't get to see it. She did.
Thank you, honey, for your trust.
well, no problem. Well, no worries, because we're going to go over it today. So the study shows us comparable homes that are actively listed. So those homes are our competition. Then they show us similar homes that have recently sold. And these homes make sure that your home will appraise. And that's very important. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Great. So let's take a look. So the first property I want to show you is an active property, meaning that this is our competition. So this one sold for $450, and it sold for $450 in 2 days, and was listed at $400,000.
Oh, wow.
Is this
Right.
the active or the sold?
This is an active. It sold in 2 days for
No, but if it's active,
50,000 over.
if it's active, it didn't sell. It's still active, remember?
Oh, wait.
That's fine. Go ahead. Keep on
Sorry.
going. Keep on
So
going.
this one it's listed for $450.
Still on the market.
Still on the market for 10 days.
Okay.
And then this one sold for $420
Okay.
and was listed for $400.
Okay.
Which one was that one again? The one that sold?
That one was 123 Main.
That's very close
Okay.
to our house.
Yeah, I actually on my way to work yesterday, honey, I drove past that and I went in and
Oh, did you?
our house. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that. Sorry, I haven't seen you this morning. But yeah, that house sucks. You know, I went in there and our house is way better than that. So we should definitely get more than that.
How was the smell, honey?
So what's a noticeable? What's
It
the
smelled good.
noticeable difference?
You tell. Yeah, you tell them.
Okay, I want to stop it here. I'll tell you why. So there is a distance, a huge distance between where the sellers are in their comfort zone and the agent. Do everyone see it? That Shirley is not going there. She's not chilling with them. She's not becoming their friend. They're inviting you in many ways to be their friend, like to be comfortable and to chill and, you know, not to be the formal, and you're staying at formal, and it's not good because you're not building rapport, and you, first of all, you feel uncomfortable when you do that. Second of all, you're not really building a relationship with them. You're just like there for the information, and eventually they're going to feel it. So it's like they're being very expressive, and they're very open, like they're opening their relationship to you. Like, right? She's calling him and he's calling her, and they're talking like this. It's like they're putting literally the relationship on the table, which means they feel comfortable. You have to feel comfortable at the same time and just schmooze with them and be there, and then go back to your presentation. That's what needs to be done right now. And because you're not doing it, they are not going to choose you. They will feel that you're not, or there is something not clicking, right? You're too focused on the 450 and all that stuff, that you're losing them. And you need to always stay on the seller, pay attention to their energy. If they become friendly, you got to join them. If a seller is friendly, I'm going to be friend. I'm going to chill out. Look,
Thanks.
if it was the other way around and the agent is friendly and the seller is formal, then there is a problem. And the agent need to learn how to step back. But right now you're staying back and you need to move forward. So I want to invite you to do it. Let's see how you're doing the shift.
Wait, what did you say?
I want to see that you're doing the shift.
Engage with
That
us.
you're shifting through, engage them in a more of a friendly way. Now,
Be more part of our interaction as a couple. Like, we are calling each other like affection and all that. Oh, she's working, that's why.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, she's super, yeah.
All right, Julie, you are obviously not alone, so it's not comfortable or convenient. I understand your position. You want to continue, or you want to?
I have students coming in right now, so the bell's about to ring.
Okay. All right. In general, this is the only critique I want to give you. Like, you gotta join the sellers. The purpose of your listing presentation, everybody, the purpose of the listing presentation is for the sellers to feel comfortable with you. All right. Now, it looks like they feel extremely comfortable and you're not. And if an agent, and by the way, this can happen many times, that the agent is nervous and they're not really capable of chilling right into, and joining the sellers on this chill out, like James did also with Raziel. Raziel was doing it, but not really. I didn't feel that Raziel was going all the way to the same level of James. James was joking about divorce. Raziel didn't even go there. He just stayed. It could be okay to do that, by the way, but it's just like missing a little bit of join the sellers, let them feel comfortable, let them hug you. If the seller wants to hug you, let them hug you. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a conversation, I'm not saying physically. If the seller wants to hug you and feel warm with you, let them feel warm, let them feel comfortable. Okay? And because if you don't do it, you're going to make them feel uncomfortable. All right, so that was good. Steven, it's your turn, right?
Yes.
All right. Sellers, let him go smoothly, quickly, because I want other people to participate as well. So, I'm still going to critique. I don't want you to be yes, no. Do some stuff, but move on. Don't linger on the price and then again and this. Like, move on. Like, give him something and let him move on to the next question. Give him another thing, let him move to the next question. Okay, go ahead.
Just me on the set?
Yeah, you are basically presenting right now to say two partners on an LLC, and the partners were kind of fighting and they just want to get rid of this property so they can move on with their lives. And right now, both of them are motivated. They both want to sell. Obviously, they want to sell for the highest price possible, but they're out. So the motivation is they're super motivated.
Who's the other partner?
You're dealing with Shirley and Lisette.
Okay, Shirley and Lisette. All right. Hello, Shirley and Lisette. Thanks for having me over today. Are you excited about moving to Miami?
Yeah.
They're both on mute.
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Hey,
Lisette,
would
you're
you
on
mind
mute.
if...
No. Go ahead, Steven. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Hey, would you mind if I leave my stuff at the kitchen table while I take a quick look around the house and jot down some notes?
Go ahead.
Cool. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about the opportunity that we're having today to get your home sold and get you and your partner closer to where you need to be. Let's begin the process now, shall we?
Sure.
Awesome. Now,
Yep.
now Shirley and Lisette, naturally, at the end of my presentation today, you will understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the selling price. Isn't that what we want?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's it. Yes, that's what I want as well for you. Now, there are 3 possible outcomes that we can expect today. All right. Number 1, you will feel great about my marketing plan and the price that we choose, and you will decide to list your home with me. Or number 2, you might feel a little uncertain about the process and you might need some time to sleep on it. Or number 3, I might not be able to take the listing if our expectations are not aligned. And I just want you to know that any one of these options is completely fine by me. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, I've written down some important questions for us to discuss tonight. All right. Do you mind if I go over these questions with you?
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. So Lisette and Shirley, so did you make a definite decision to sell this home?
Yes, we are done. We need to move on with our lives.
Yeah, and
Different.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually got that from our last conversation. And that's why I asked. Now, let me ask you this. Would you like to price your home to sell quickly? Or would you prefer to price it high and keep it on the market for a long period of time?
We need to sell for the right price quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to sell for the right price quickly. Okay, I'm on the same page. Now, once we find a ready, willing, and able buyer for your home, how quickly can you close?
The house is vacant, 30 days, I guess. Whatever time, whenever a great buyer, it's ready, we are ready.
Okay, yeah. So there's no one living here, so it's definitely beneficial to sell as soon as possible. All right. Now, during our phone conversation, we've already established that you're in a rush to sell this home. Am I right?
Yes, we are.
And
Yes,
what's
we
your
are.
next move? What's your next move after selling this home?
I don't know about Shirley. I'm done with partnerships, so I'm taking myself a break from all of this, and I'm gonna go to my country to live the life.
Oh, nice. Your country. Where are you from?
The Dominican Republic
Oh, so am I. What part?
is the east, around
East
all
side, what?
the resorts.
Yeah. Cool. Are you planning on going to a resort down there, or are you going to
Or
visit your family?
I am
Or
planning.
both?
Yeah, both.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Shirley? What's the plan with you?
I'm also moving, so, and I would like to use some of that money to reinvest.
You want to reinvest that money into what, if I may ask?
Real estate again, but in a different state. I'm thinking of
Okay.
going to Atlanta.
You're going to Atlanta. Nice. Are you
Mhm.
looking to rent out some homes there, or are you gonna just buy some properties and maybe fix them up and flip them, or what's the plan?
I don't know yet, maybe flip or just I know I want to reinvest it.
Okay, nice. That's definitely a great idea. I definitely recommend that. So are you both interviewing any other agents?
No, we are not. You've been very aggressive on your follow-up, and we see that you are a hard worker, so we are ready to list it with you for the right price and right commission.
Awesome. So I'm the only one. Hey, so I really have to mess this up not to get the listing, huh?
Yes, big time.
Awesome. Now, on a more serious note, what expectations do you really have for that agent that you'll choose to list your home with?
About you, Shirley?
By the way, like right now, you don't need to ask that question. So you got to use common sense. She told you already that they like you, they like your approach. There's no need to bring that in. You already know, just move on to, and she said it's all about price, then move to price immediately.
Okay. Perfect. So now, before we get into pricing, it's important to understand the three main issues in selling real estate today, okay? Number one is the seller's motivation. That's you both. We've already established that you're very motivated to sell because you're through with the partnership, okay? And number two is the buyer's motivation, and we'll go over that in just a moment here, okay? And then lastly, number three, which happens to be the most important factor when buying or selling a home. Would you happen to know what that is, Shirley or Lisette?
I guess price.
Correct, it's the price. And so now, sorry, I lost myself. Now, we know that buyers determine value by looking at what's currently available for sale. Then they compare those homes, the actives, with other similar homes that have recently sold. Okay. And then based on that information, they then come up with an offer. All right. So in the listing, in the presentation, in the papers, in the stack of papers that I prepared for you, I included the pre-listing package that I sent over through email, but I brought it with me as well. Did you get a chance to go over it?
Yes, I did.
Not me.
Okay.
I didn't look it over yet.
Okay, so that's no problem. We can definitely go through this in more detail. That way you're on the same page, Shirley. So the study is showing us comparable homes that are actively listed as our competition and other similar homes that have recently sold. All right. These homes, the solds, will also help us make sure that your home will appraise. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's take a look, okay? These three homes are actively listed for sale. Let's take a look at the first home.
Okay.
All right, 123 Main Street. Actually, right down the street. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, exactly like your property. That one was listed for 27 days. And they actually reduced the price on day 15 and it's still on the market, okay? That house is listed for $375. Have you seen this home?
I have seen it. I haven't gone in it, but I've seen it.
Okay, what are your opinions about it just by seeing it from the outside?
I say it's solid. Look, it looks good. But it's updated than that one.
Yours is more updated. That's true, actually. And that's actually beneficial in comparison to that home that I just mentioned. Okay, so at this point, we'll go through number 2 and 3. Okay, so we did that. Now let's take a look at a few similar homes that have recently sold. All right, this one is located at 456 Main Street. That's a little further down the road, but same thing, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, exactly like yours. Okay, this one actually sold for $350. All right, and it sold in 1 week.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that one sold very quickly. So now, did you get a chance to look at that one, by the way?
Yes, I actually went into it when it was they had an open house. It was good. It's a good property.
Yeah, what were
Yeah, I
your
did see
opinions
it.
on it? Lisa, what were your opinions on it?
It's good. It's good. I think it has more space per square footage than mine. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's just a little bit bigger, but the same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms. So that one's very comparable to yours, and it sold for $350. All right. So now that we know how buyers determine the value, we also know that buyers will compare your home with the competition, especially with the homes that have recently sold. Okay. Therefore, Shirley and Lisette, which price do you feel we should use in order to position your home above the competition?
Well, you tell us. You are the expert here.
Okay. Yeah. So this home that we just went over, same number of bathrooms and bedrooms. and then it sold for 350. It's just a little bit bigger than yours, but yours is much more updated than that one. You have stainless steel appliances. Those appliances are from the 80s or 90s, it looks like. So based on my opinion, you know, if you wish to sell your home quickly and fairly for a good market, for a good price, based on my experience and knowledge of the market, I would recommend beginning with the price of 340. And this way you'll be able to get what you want in the time frame that allows you to, you know, get rid of this home and, you know, move on with your partnership. Okay.
Okay.
Let's look over.
Shirley, what do you think?
I'll be thinking
Yeah.
about it.
What do you
some
think,
more,
Shirley?
but I think if you're okay with the price you set, then I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that one sold for 350, like I said. So I think if we begin yours at 340, you know, and I'm sorry, but I mentioned that one sold in 7 days. So it's very, very busy around this area.
When you're
So if we
closing,
list,
Stephen, when you're closing, always use this sentence. And this goes all across the board. I didn't see many of you actually using that sentence. Now that we know how buyers determine value, how do they determine value? We spoke about it. They look at what's available and what's sold. So now that we know how buyers determine value, and we also know buyers are going to compare your home with the competition, especially with these homes that have recently sold, which price do you feel or which price do you think we should use to position your home above the competition? You're not giving them the price. You ask them for the price. Because when you're giving them the price, it can be that you shoot yourself in the foot. They might tell you a lower price than what you want to tell. So
I did ask that. They told me I should, I'm the agent, so.
you still need to go right back into it and say, well, I know I'm the agent, but based on, because we're going to determine your price based on what we see that is logical and based on what we see that is a fact. So based on these, where do you feel that we should be? All right, that's the only thing that when you close, don't let them, you know, let them sound something. Okay, Shirley, what do you think? Based on these prices, how much do you think the house should sell for? And she'll say 400, and I'll go, okay, Lisette, what about you? Do you agree with the 400? Okay, now if I'm in agreement, I'm just going to agree and say, okay, all we got to do next is just let's go over the paperwork. Let me show you where we need to sign. I'm going into for the close. All right.
Okay.
When they tell you you're the expert, you can say, yes, I study homes and prices every day. And therefore, what I think we should do here is, for example, if I'm not in agreement, that's what I'll say. Okay, guys, look, I study homes and prices every day. I look at homes literally every day. I'm looking at different homes. And I know the market inside out. And I can tell you based on what I see here that the home is probably going to sell between 375 and 385. So assuming we go with the higher end of this number, would you guys agree that we list this home right now for 389,000? And then I see what they say and I go from there. All right, look, when you guys reach this level over here, it takes a lot of, you know, experience obviously to know what to say, but so far up until now, your energy was good. You were very friendly. You repeated what they said. You know, there's basically energy was good. They were kind of tired. And also everyone else, I recognize you guys are getting tired because obviously we've been doing this now for 2 hours straight. So it's tiring. I want you guys to shake yourself out of this tiredness and create a real scenario of sellers. All right. But in general, Stephen, you were very good. Energy was a match. You kept on controlling the presentation and you didn't allow them to drive you crazy. And it was, you know, straightforward. You just lingered and you were slow. That's the only thing that I would do is speed up. You were very slow on it. And you could very easily speed up into it. And you need to recognize when you're losing the sellers. Like, for example, in a real situation, sellers can get bored. Sellers can get very easily bored. Look at their phones while you're doing a presentation. This seller is on his phone the whole time. It can happen that a seller is in front of you, literally in front of you, looking at his phone, checking his emails, answering texts. And you need to know what to do at that in that scenario. All right, very good. Let's bring up Joyce Mar, Michael, and Glenda. And with that, we're going to end this, but there's more stuff to talk about, so nobody goes anywhere. I've seen some people leaving, which I don't like, because you need to wait for everyone else to finish. So Michael, you're the agent, and you're dealing with two sisters selling their home. And let's go. They're super motivated. The house needs to sell. You just need to agree on price. They already know you. They got your name through a friend. So it's an easy listing. So go get it.
Is Joyce Mar and who?
And Glenda.
Glenda. Okay. All right, let's do it.
And by the way, when you do this, also to speed up stuff, start straight from part one, but naturally. So you don't need to do, okay, I'm putting my stuff at the kitchen table. Just naturally at the end of my presentation, start from there.
Okay. Joyce Mar and Glenda, naturally at the end of my presentation today, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the selling price. Isn't that what you both want?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now there are three possible outcomes we can expect today. Number one, you'll feel great about my marketing plan and the price we choose, and you'll decide to list your home with me. Or number two, you might feel uncertain about the process and need some time to sleep on it. Or number three, I might not be able to take your listing if our expectations aren't aligned or we're not in the same ballpark. I just want both of you to know that any one of these options is okay by me.
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Well, listen, I wrote down some important questions for us to discuss right now. Do you mind if I ask these questions right now?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Joyce Mar and Glenda, did you make a definite decision to sell this home?
Absolutely. Yes.
Both of you? Okay. Would you mind, would you like to price this home to sell quickly, or would you prefer to price it high and keep it on the market for like a long period of time?
We just want to sell quickly.
So, okay, let me ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say you both are in selling it quickly? I know 1 to 10, so you got to be up in the 8 or 9 or 10 range.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We're at a 15.
Oh yeah, 15. So you guys are motivated. That's what I like. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, once we find a ready, willing, and able buyer for your home, how quickly can you close? It sounds like y'all are ready to close right away.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, during our phone conversation, you mentioned you were moving to Florida. Was that both for you? Boca?
Yes.
Okay, I love Boca. What are the reasons you're moving there?
Family. And we also have a new business opportunity.
Okay. Family down there and business? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like a good reason to move.
Yeah.
And you prefer, since it sounds like y'all are motivated, you plan on moving, I guess, as soon as we get a buyer, hopefully everything works out quickly, and over the next month or 2 months, 2 to 3 months, if there's anything with any hangups with the buyer, you guys could be down there before the summer hits. That makes sense?
Yeah, or sooner if we could.
Or sooner?
Yep.
Okay. And do you guys have an idea of what y'all want to list the house for?
We were thinking 400.
400? Okay. Well, one more question. Are you guys interviewing any more agents?
Yes, we have one more.
You have one more?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fine. All right, well, thank you for answering these questions, for taking the time to answer these questions. Now, before we get into pricing, it's important to understand there are three main issues in selling real estate today. Number one, seller's motivation, which you guys are motivated, so that's no problem there. Number two, buyer's motivation. And number three, the listing price, seeing where we could place it as far as the competition. Since we know buyers determine value and by looking at what's currently available for sale, then they compare these homes with other similar homes that have recently sold. And based on that information, they come up with an offer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does? Okay. Well, I prepared a home evaluation report for you, which I included in the pre-listing package. Did both of you guys have a chance to look at it?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And this report is showing us comparable homes that are actively listed right now as our competition and other similar homes that are recently sold. These will also help us make sure those houses there that sold, that your home sells in that area, that it'll actually appraise, which makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. Let's take a look. I have 3 houses here that are active, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna just go over one. We have one at 6333 North Capitol Street. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's been listed for 10 days. And it's listed at $375. Did you guys see this house?
Yeah, I actually went to the open house they had last weekend. It looked okay.
Okay, all right. What about you, Glenda?
No, I did not see it.
You didn't see that one?
No.
Okay. All right, then number 2, number 3. And so now I'm gonna jump over to the solds. So now let's look at some houses that have recently sold. We have another one at number 10 Tuckerman Street. It has similar 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's been listed for 3 weeks and they have it listed at 400. Did you see this house, the one on Tuckerman Street? Either one?
Did it sell for 400
Yeah, it sold for 400.
in 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Can you do that?
I do my best.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, now that we know how buyers determine value, and we also know buyers will compare your home with the competition, especially with these homes that are recently sold. Which price do you guys both feel that we could use so we can price this house above the competition?
I mean, I'll go with the 400. I don't feel like the other house that's active on the market right now compares to ours. I feel strongly about the 400 that we would be asking for.
Okay, you, Glenda?
Same.
Same? Okay,
Same.
you guys make this very easy. Well, why don't we do that? I'm gonna put it out there for 400. So the only thing left for us to do right now is to go through the rest of the listing agreement, and I'm gonna have you guys sign so I can go ahead and market this thing and get this thing sold so you guys can get the Boca ASAP. Does that work for you?
That sounds
does.
All right, thank you both.
great. Thank you.
All right.
All right, this might have been your shortest, easiest listing presentation ever.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you're gonna get a lot of those.
Right.
You just need to be smooth on your presentation, keep them posted, keep them interested. Obviously, when they mention motivation, you want to use that, and then you want to use the price and attach it to their motivation. So tonality, you need to improve a little bit on tonality. You're not super smooth with the script. So you need more role playing, more listening, more chanting, more homework, basically, the homework that we gave throughout the workshop. That's missing for sure, because I feel that if you're going to feel more comfortable with the script, which will happen when you internalize it, you will then very easily be able to really sit down and be you and make sure that this thing is being delivered in the right energy, rapport, mimicking, mirror match, do all that stuff. So just more practice, basic stuff. That's what's needed. You already have the style, and you shouldn't worry about, my posture. Your posture is very good, and that's basically it. So let's go now. You are
I got
basically,
to
yeah, I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go, Michael. I'll talk to you soon. And so now we got Glenda presenting to a seller that wants to sell her house. She needs to sell her house as soon as possible, but she's obviously not going to budge on price, and she wants to know what you're doing to get the home sold.
And go.
Go.
Oh, me. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the beginning. Hello, Joyce Meiser. It's nice to finally meet you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Would you mind if I put my stuff at the kitchen table while I take a quick look around the house and make some notes?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I am very excited about the opportunity we're having today to get your home sold and get you closer to Miami. Let's begin the process now, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay. Now, Joyce Mar, I sent you a pre-listing package. Were you able to review it?
Yeah, I skimmed through it briefly.
Okay, awesome. Now, Joyce Mar, naturally, at the end of my presentation today, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing the selling price. Isn't that what we want?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Now, Joyce Mar, there are 3 possible outcomes that we can expect today. One,
Okay.
you'll feel great about my marketing plan and the price we choose, and you'll decide to list your home with me. Or number 2, you might feel uncertain about the process and might need some time to sleep on it. Or number 3, I might not be able to take the listing if our expectations are not aligned. Now, Joyce Mar, any of these options are fine by me.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Now, Joyce Mar, I've written down some important questions for us to discuss. Do you mind if I go over them? Do you mind if I read these questions to you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, did you make a definite decision in selling this home?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Now, would you like to price your home to sell quickly, or would you prefer to list it high and keep it on the market for a long period of time?
No, I want to sell it quickly.
Awesome.
But of course, I also don't want to miss out on a good offer.
Okay, great, understandable. Now, Joyce Mar, once we find you a ready, willing, and able buyer for your home, how quickly can you close?
Right away. The house is mostly moved out, so it's fairly quickly, maybe like within a week or so, it will be empty.
Okay, okay. That makes it a lot easier for showings, definitely. Now, Joyce Mar, during our phone conversation, you mentioned you were moving to Miami.
Yeah.
And the reason you're moving there is because you have a job opportunity and families over there.
Yeah. Lots of good things happening in Miami for me. So that's why I need to get out of this house and go on,
That's awesome. Now, the job that you're going to, is it in the same field or is it a totally new one?
Oh, no, it's a different field, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a great move for me.
Okay, awesome. Now, Joyce, you mentioned you wanted us to list for 350. Is that right?
No, actually, I was thinking about it after we spoke, and I want to do a little bit more. Do you believe we could do 385?
385? All right, we'll look at the comps right now and we'll go over the price. Sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, are you interviewing any other agents?
One more later today.
Okay. Now, what expectations do you have from the agent you'll choose to list your home with?
Just someone that, knows what they're doing. I don't want, and does their homework. I don't want to go into contract with a buyer that, won't be able to close. Like I need, security that this is gonna go through just hassle-free, So somebody that's gonna
Okay.
communicate with me and make this and streamline this process and get me the most money that they can.
Okay, perfect. Now, thank you very much for answering these questions. Now, before we get into pricing, it's important to understand the three main issues in selling home and selling real estate today. Now, one, it's the seller's motivation, which obviously it seems like you're motivated. Two, it's the buyer's motivation, and three, it's the listing price. Now, Joyce Mart, since we know buyers determine value by looking at what's currently available for sale, then they compare these homes with similar homes that have recently sold. And based on that information, they come up with an offer.
Okay.
Now, I did prepare a home evaluation report for you, and it was in the pre-listing package that I sent over. You said you took a look at it fairly quickly.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, as you can see, the study is showing us comparable homes that are actively listed as our competition and other similar homes that have recently sold. These will also help us make sure your home will appraise. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think I still need a little more clarification on that.
Okay, on which part? The
I
appraisal?
don't understand where the sold homes come into play.
Okay, we'll explain that right now. So
Sure.
let's say, for example, these three homes that are actively listed for sale. Let's look at the first one, 123 Main Street with 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's been on the market for 5 days and it's listed for $425.
Okay.
Did you take a look at any of these homes?
Yeah, I saw, I drove by a few of them.
Okay, did you go into the house though?
No, I didn't have the opportunity.
Okay. So now let's take a look at a few similar homes that have recently sold. So
Okay.
here are again 123 Main Street, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, listed for 7 days, and it actually sold for $390.
Oh, great.
Yes.
How much did they list that for?
Well, the listing price was $359.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Did you get to see that home?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. So now, Joyce Mart, now that we know how buyers determine value, and we also know buyers will compare your home with the competition, especially with those homes that have recently sold, like the one we just, the one I just showed you for $390. Which price do you feel we should use to position your home above the competition?
I mean, if that's how the strategy works, I guess 350 is fine. The original price that I had mentioned when we spoke on the phone.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at that you understand the agreement, and let's get going.
Sounds good. Thank you, Glenda.
You're welcome.
Who wants to critique?
I thought that Glenda, your presentation was like so much better, like because we did it yesterday and I was being really hard on you, and I made you uncomfortable, being like Ran Biderman style driver calculating. But I find that when I was listening to your presentation now, you made it personable, and I really like that personally. And you smiled, and I do like it when you smile. It made me feel comfortable, but at the same time, you were also on point, and you were like very direct and gave the information out and on point. So it was much better than last night's presentation where you were a little bit nervous and you were kind of like, but you had your kid with you, but I found it really, much better, so you improved like 100% for me.
Thanks.
I like that you answered my question with what the information that we were following up with. Like, it's not like you answered the question and then went over the information that recapped what you already answered. You get me? Like, I like that you like flowed the question and the answer together with the presentation.
Glenda.
Hello.
Well, I really liked it. I think you did a great job. And you, Joyce Mar was giving you some objections and you kept on going and following through the presentation. So you didn't let her get distracted or sidetrack you, I should say.
All right. Good job. Let's flip it. Joyce Mar, it's showtime.
Okie dokie. Hi, Miss Glenda. It's so nice to finally meet you. Would you mind if I leave my stuff at the kitchen table while I take a quick look around the house and make some notes?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you very much. Walk around, blah, blah, blah. So thank you very much. I am very excited about the opportunity we're having today to get your home sold and get you closer to Florida. So let's begin the process now, shall we?
Sure. Would you like some tea?
That would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
James,
now
you got everybody with your tea over there, huh?
I know she likes tea.
Strawberry tea today. So Glenda, I emailed you the pre-listing package a few days ago. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at it?
I did quickly.
Okay, well, no worries. We'll take a look at it now. And now, Glenda, naturally, at the end of my presentation today, you'll be able to understand what it takes to sell your home quickly while maximizing your selling price. Isn't that what we want?
Yes, it's exactly what we want.
Perfect. Now, there are 3 possible outcomes that we can expect today. Number 1, you'll feel great about my marketing plan and the price that we choose, and you'll decide to list your home with me. Or 2, you might feel uncertain about the process and need some time to sleep on it. Or 3, I might not be able to take your listing if our expectations are not aligned, but I just want to reassure you that any of these are fine with me.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Now I've written down some important questions to discuss. Do you mind if I read these questions to you?
No, go right ahead.
Perfect, thank you. Now, did you make a definite decision to sell your home?
I did and I didn't.
Okay.
I do want to sell, but I'm on the fence.
Can we unpack that a little bit more? What's having you on the fence?
Well, the price.
Okay. What price did you have?
Well, the price that based on what you sent me, it looks like it's a little bit lower than what I want to sell for.
Mm-hmm. That's completely understandable. And I'll explain to you why that was the strategy that I chose. Okay. So that's what's having you on the fence, the price. Okay, we can address that. And now, with that in mind, would you like to price your home to sell quickly, or would you prefer to price it high and keep it on the market for a long time?
Definitely want to sell quickly.
Okay, very good. And now, once we find a ready, willing, and able buyer for your home, how quickly can you close, Glenda?
Well, soon. The house is vacant right now, so at any time it's good.
That's great. And during our phone conversation yesterday, you mentioned that you were moving to Florida. Am I correct?
Correct.
Very good. And remind me again the reason you're moving there?
No, we're just moving, just family down there.
Okay.
Just to try it out.
To try out being closer to family, I understand.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you prefer to move before the summer so you can get everything ready to do a lot of housewarmings over there. And you said you wanted to list it for, what price did you want to list it for?
400.
400, okay. And now, are you interviewing any other agents?
I have one other person in mind, but I haven't called her yet.
Okay, very good. And what expectations do you have from the agent that you'll choose to list your home with?
Well, communication is key, no lockbox on the property, and that they're honest.
I understand, especially, I mean, with everything that with this big move that you're going through right now, you need to definitely have somebody that communicates well with you, and just keeps you up to date with everything that's happening with the home and is a little more personable with the space. I completely understand that. And okay, so that was the last question that I had. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer these. And before we get into pricing, it's important to understand the three main issues in selling real estate today. The first one is the seller's motivation, which I get from you that you're very motivated to sell. The second one is the buyer's motivation. And lastly is the listing price. And since we know buyers determine value by looking at what's currently available for sale, then we can compare these homes with other similar homes that have recently sold. And based on that information, we come up with an offer. Now, I have prepared a home evaluation report for you, which I included in the pre-listing package that I sent you. And do you mind grabbing it so we can go over it together?
Sure.
Thank you. Now, the study is showing us comparable homes that are actively listed, and that is our competition, and other similar homes that have recently sold. And now these will help us make sure that your home will appraise. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Very good. So now let's take a look at some of these homes. Now, this report has three active homes that are listed. The first one is at 123 Main Street. It has the same amount of baths and bedrooms as yours. And it's been listed for a week already. They listed it for $375. And then there's this second home, same, $375. Third home, same, $360. And now let's take a look at a few similar homes that have recently sold. Now, this is where we really this is really where we gather all of our information to get the best listing price for you. Now, the first home that I have here that is sold, it's at 123 Banana Street, and it has the same amount of bedrooms and baths as yours. And it was listed for $375, and it sold for $425 within 3 weeks. I feel like that's a very competitive sale. Would you agree?
Yes.
Very good. And now the other two examples, sold house number 2, sold house number 3. Did you get to see any of these homes, by the way, Glenda?
No, I didn't.
Okay, very good. And now that we know how buyers determine value, and we also know buyers will compare your home with the competition, especially with these homes that have already been recently sold, which price do you feel we should use to position your home above the competition?
Well, I think I want 400. So if we go with that, I think that price will go well.
Okay. Now, I do want to remind you, however, Glenda, that we are also looking at the homes that are active on the market right now. And here we have a few homes that are active, but they're a little under the 400 mark. And now if we go forward and list your home at 400, we would just be helping them sell their home faster, because yours is the one that's higher in price. You understand what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Okay. So with, in my professional opinion, I believe that marketing your home at I think 380 would be a great price to, that would be a great price to get you at the 400 mark. And who knows, maybe within the time that you are, within the time that we have the home listed, we get a price, we get an offer for higher than that. That's also a possibility. So do you feel okay with 380?
Still not convinced.
Okay, I understand. So you really want 400,000 for the home. Now, what is it that you're going to, what is this profit going to go towards, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the profit is gonna go if, in case we don't like Florida and we have to move back, we have to come back and buy another house. So that's where
I
the profit is
understand.
going.
The profit is going to a second down payment. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you visited Florida where you have been?
Oh yeah, many times.
Okay. And you've worked already with where you're going to be settling in? Are you working with an agent there already?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how is that going?
It's going great.
Okay. Have you found a home already?
We're getting close.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And so now that you're doing this process simultaneously, as you're shopping around for homes, are you also looking to get the best price for the homes that you're buying, the home that you'll be buying down in Florida?
Absolutely.
Right. So as a buyer that you are being right now in another state, you understand that shopping around and trying to get the best deal is how a buyer would look at your home, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what I want to do is be able to create a situation where I have buyers that are like knocking on the door with an offer that is above what you're asking for. And in order to do that, we have to create value in the eyes of the buyer. So whether, I saw that your house is updated, you have the bathrooms look amazing, the kitchen looks great. So, and I know that that's something that you'll be looking for down in Florida as well.
Correct.
I believe that if we're able to sell this home fast, then the process in Florida also will accelerate and you'll be in a better place.
Correct.
So what price do you feel we should list for?
If we can do 390, can we list at 390?
Okay, that sounds fair.
All right.
Very good. So now that we've come to an agreement on the listing price, so we can go over the agreement and make sure that you understand the process.
Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you, Glenda.
Very good. I'm gonna leave my critique to the end. Let's give some people room to do that.
Okay. So I thought that your presentation was outstanding. Like 95% of it, like when you were on script, you were just like professional, you were like to the point, all the objections, it was perfect. And then at the end, you just lost it. I think you deviated from the script. I didn't hear the final closing script about why you listed, why you recommend listing it. You kind of went off into your own script. And then I thought it was a very clear I thought it would have been very simple based on the comps that you provided, because you said that the sold was at 380 and then it sold at 425. I mean, if I heard you right, with that number, I thought that you should have been able to close with her, like get her to agree right away. Like, okay, we're selling at 380, but let her know that she, most likely she's going to get higher than asking price, but you have to
close it the way you're talking about. No,
yeah,
but you do it, James. Close it right now the way you're saying it should be closed.
Well, I would say like based on the listing price, based on what's sold, I recommend selling at listing at 380, and based on similar properties and this recent sold, comparable, it went over asking price 425. So there's most likely you're going to be able to get a bidding war and over asking price, and so that's why I recommend 380 now. And the reason why we listed 380 and not 400 is because if you list it over what the other actives are, then you're going to help other people sell their homes, right? The other properties. But you list at 380, which is very attractive, lower than what these other actives are, then you'll most likely end up getting a bidding war and getting over asking price. So that's why we should list right now at 380, right? Something like that.
And then close it.
And then close it. But then you went into the whole, like you try to get into her whole motivations, like, oh, why are you selling in Florida? And, you know, like, wouldn't you want to, and then that got, for me, it took away from the close, and it just made it more like harder, you know, to get back to the bottom line price. Cause you're already there, you know, she's already there because you can get her 400. It's just that you want to list it for 380 based on, you know, the comps. So that's my feedback.
Yeah, very good.
I mean, I could see where Joyce Meyer was going, only to show her the buyer psychology. So since Glenda was also a buyer, not just a seller, walking her through the process that she was going to take as a buyer, to show her that buyers are going to act the same way on the sale of her house. I like that approach. You know, so I see that as the reason for going off script and kind of just getting her to understand how buyers are going to be with regards to, you know, how she prices her house and making sure she prices it correctly.
I agree.
More critique.
Going with what Carlos was saying, I actually, I think that her asking all those questions was helping her build rapport. I think if it was me, I would feel more connected with her because she's interested. And that's what I'm looking for.
And that's actually how I actually saw it too. So.
Very good. Look, overall, I think Joyce Meyer did a phenomenal job. Like, your posture was great. Your tonality was fantastic. I mean, you went through all the way to the end better than anyone else who did it today, that I tell you right now, with your professionalism, tonality, the way you move through it with timing, repeating, conversing, making it real. You mentioned her name many times. You called out Glenda, which is great. The only thing that you missed was your closing, which obviously you did not, I can see that you did not practice enough the closing as much as you did at the beginning or the middle of the presentation. And this is all across the board for all of you. When you close a listing presentation, you give them the opportunity to choose the price over here. Not, you know, which price do you feel we should use to position your home above the competition? And they say 400. Glenda said 400. I would continue with this. Okay, Glenda, look, if you wish to sell your home fairly quickly, which I'm assuming that you want, based on my experience and knowledge of the market, I would recommend to begin with 380, like the other listing that I showed you here that ended up at 425. This way, you'll be able to get what you want in the time frame that allows you to move to Florida. Now, let's go over the agreement and make sure you understand the process. I am done. I'm not conversing with her. I'm not arguing with her. I'm not participating. There was no real objection there. She didn't say no. She was just like 400. You were at 380. Your 380 is the right way to go because, look, Glenda, you understand that even if we list at 380, we can end up at 400 based on what I just showed you that happened over here, right? And she says, right. I say, okay, great. So let's go over the agreement and make sure you understand the process. And I'm moving on. I'm continuing with my presentation. I'm going to go to close. Sometimes we get stuck and there's no need. Like, you think that they're not ready, but she was completely ready. You could have very easily took her all the way to the closing. And that's what was missing for it to be like a perfect presentation from the beginning to the end.
So then, had she kept pressing on the 400 and then I move on through with the rest of the presentation, I explained to her, you know, this other house sold, was listed at 380, sold for 425, yada, 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 closing. So let me show you through the process. At some point in time, she's going to come back with the 400.
She's not.
What? She won't?
She won't, because she already
He says
understands.
she won't.
Well, she can say if she does, then I'm going to go back right there. So assuming that she's coming back and says, well, I still want 400.
Mhm.
Then my next question is, Glenda, you want 400?
Yes.
So list at 380 and you'll get 400. But if you list at 400, you might get less. Would you prefer to list at 380 and get 400 or list at 400 and get less? Which one would you prefer? What is more important to you, where we begin or what you get the bottom line at the end of the day?
Bottom line.
Okay, so let's look at the approach the agent took over here with the 380 and look what happened. I want to take a similar approach. I want to bring in as many buyers as possible, create a bidding war. Everybody wants your house. Let them bid each other. Maybe we'll end up at 400. Maybe we'll end up at 405, maybe 410, maybe 415. We don't know. If we start at 400, you're not going to get that vibe. You're going to get a different vibe. If I'm going with that approach, Joyce Marr, it can be that I'm not going to go with that approach. It can be that I'm going to go with, listen, Glenda, if you start at 400, you're basically going to probably get less than if you started at 380. So I just want to know if it's like a principal thing that you want 400 to, start the listing, and really what's going to happen if 3 weeks have passed, which, by the way, the first 3 weeks are the most important in every listing. We put your home on the market. We create all the vibe that needs to be created. Okay, we make all the noise. We bring as many people as possible. And then we're not getting too much activity. Why? Because there are other homes, which I showed you here, that are cheaper than yours. So what's going to happen is they're going to go on a bidding war on the other houses that are 20, 30,000 less than yours. You should be together with all the rest and let them bid each other. Because if I'm going to look at 3 homes that are the same, okay, 3 homes that are more or less the same. One is 370, one is 380, one is 400. Which one would you want to buy? They're all on the same street, more or less same bedroom, same beds. What would you go for?
The cheaper one.
Now, what would happen if you price your home at that price? Say you go with your home at 380 or 370 even. With the other 2 homes, what's going to happen next? That is, everyone that's looking at those 2 will come here and want to put, an offer on your house, and then we can climb up. Look, bottom line is like this. We can start it. If she's like crazy on the 400, I will go to say, because we're pretty close, 380 and 400 is not a big difference.
Right.
I'll say, look, we can start at 400. And then after 2 weeks, if we're not getting any offers, it's not a good sign, which means we're going to reduce the price to 380. Would you agree to do that? She says, yes. I say, great. So let's sign right now this price reduction. Then in 2 weeks, if we don't sell or get offers that we want to get, it will go automatically to 380. Would you agree with that? She says, yes. I say, great. We signed that. We signed the listing at 400 and put it on the market.
Okay.
All right. So, but you got the listing. I mean, you did a good job. She will probably give you the listing, and most people are not. I mean, all of you said you're interviewing more agents, but the majority of people are not. That's the fact. The majority of people are not interviewing more than one agent. All right. So to close this thing up, I want to tell you guys that if you want to be successful all across the board, you need a lot more practice. Not just more practice, but a lot more practice. And maybe you don't want to practice always the same portions of the script. Maybe you want to go to the end and start doing some objections and go through that. But to jump directly to the end without knowing their motivation is not going to happen. So you need to discover motivation. Remember, your purpose is to discover motivation in order to have enough tools to have them sign your listing at the end. And you guys gave more or less the same exact objections.